So we promised you the beach, and here we are.
Here we are. Look at, oh, there you go. There's one of our breaks.
Break walls?
Break wall. Thank you.
It's to stop erosion because Presque Isle is a peninsula. The waves will tend to, it's moved, and if you look at it, it's got a bit of a curve to it. The break walls were installed to mitigate some of that. Every year we have a big sand replenishment thing. So
we lose our sand, and then we have to put more sand on the beaches.
Yeah, there's been talk of some other kind of below the water break wall system that's supposed to do the same thing. I don't know much about that yet. So, but yes, we're on the beach. My favorite place. It's a little sunnier than where we've been. I am a vampire. I enjoy the shade, so brought the hat out. So we were talking in the last episode about TV shows, and we're trying to find a balance in these for readers and writers. So we thought we'd continue talking about some of the TV shows we really enjoy. I'm going to tell you one I'm looking forward to trying out. I have a major girl crush on Nathan Fillion. I loved him in Castle. I loved him in Firefly. And I loved him in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Yes.
My ringtone on my phone for my husband himself.
Dark Horse. Dark Horse.
No. Is a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So Nathan Fillion sings to me every time my husband calls.
I have forced people to watch that.
Yes, so check that one out. So there's one. But he's got a new one this fall called The Rookie.
Yeah.
And I am strictly watching it because I am a Fillion follower.
There you go.
And
Fillion fan.
Yeah, there you are.
Fillion fan.
So how about you?
It was one of the ones that I binged on, and I can't wait now for the next season because it's the final season, and that's Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I had not seen Game of Thrones, and where I work, we have a DVD library, and they had all of the seasons of Game of Thrones, and so I think that was last summer. I think last summer I spent a lot of time binging Game of Thrones, and again, the characters, I love
read
that
the
show.
books
and dragons.
Oh,
there
and
are
dragons. Like, how can that be wrong? I absolutely love that show. Even the parts that I can't watch because it's the Red Wedding. I watch like this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think I did
Oh.
the same thing. I was like closing my eyes, like, ooh, I don't need to see that
But
part.
someone who grew up on sci-fi and fantasy, this absolutely just was a winner for me.
I love Peter, the dwarf.
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. I love him, and you know what? I could listen to him. I could listen to his voice.
Oh, he is
so awesome,
and he is such a great character.
And exactly, and it was one of those characters where you started watching it and you were like,
"Oh,
he's a good guy or a bad guy, or he's just no, he's both, which is what most people are,
which is
just
what makes him interesting." And so, as a writer, I frequently watch, and I do not think about how it relates to my books. But then afterwards, you look at a character like that, and you think, "Oh, yeah, he's fantastic, and here's why. He's complex. He's not. He loves his family, and his family is awful. They are awful human beings."
And but you see that very human side of him, and that the empathetic side of him in situations where you wouldn't expect it. Yes, exactly.
That was awesome.
And that whole thing, and how she was treated, and how he wanted her to be treated, and all of those things. It was just and even how he is dealing with Mother of Dragons lady. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with the names, but
Daenerys.
I'm
really bad with names, but I'm doing really pretty okay
with
on this
that
one. Yeah, there you go.
So that's one of my ones that I really enjoy.
And if you enjoy that and you're geeky, I've gotten into podcasts lately. We had Sirius in the car, and it just got to be too much, so I canceled it. But I like listening to music, but I really like listening to other things, so I've been doing more podcasts. They have a Game of Thrones podcast. And so after each new episode, they come on
discussion?
And they discuss it and talk about like where they think it's going to go or where it relates to other things that have happened.
Before we run out of time on this one, I also have to say, This Is Us.
Oh, that's so
This
good.
Is Us. I love that show. And to me, that sort of represents kind of like what I write, because it is a little bit more family, a little bit bigger.
And I see some of mine in it because they do have that underlying humor with a lot of it. There's a lot
I love that show. I love that show. And hey, This Is Us writers, you're awesome.
Oh, you do rock. So we may do another one of these, but this is the end of this one. So tune in next time. You never know what we'll be talking about or where we'll be, because we're tricky.
But we'll probably still be on the beach.
We'll probably still be right here for a while.
Come on back to the Erie Beach.